welcome. I'm Pastor Lance Smith, and we're here with The Road. We're on the road to the kingdom. We are actually on the road here. We're just off Highway 74, looking back over Tryon Peak and White Oak Mountain and Hogback in the distance there. The mountains are just something. They're just something really special. They're almost surreal when you look at them and you think about the mountains and how they were formed and how many centuries of pressure and heat it took to make these mountains and the plates coming together. You know, I was thinking today about the old Cherokee legend about how the mountains were formed. The Cherokee believed that when the earth was first formed, it was still wet and everything was mud, and they sent animals out to see how muddy it was, and they kept coming back all muddy, and finally they sent the turkey vulture, the biggest of the birds, to go out, the one that was the biggest flyer and the best flyer. And he flew and he flew and he flew and he flew, and he finally found this patch of ground that looked real dry, and he flew so close to it that his wingtips hit the earth, and where they hit the earth it made valleys, and when he pulled those wingtips up, supposedly that's what made the mountains. It's pretty impressive though, these mountains. They're the oldest mountains in the United States, some of the oldest mountains in the world, part of the Blue Ridge system, part of the Appalachians. And we call them the Appalachians. They're not the Lachans, they're the Latchans. Yeah. But it's interesting how God created all this stuff for us, all these miracles, and how they just happened just so that we could be here, just so we could be part of it, just so that we could look at a view like this on a summer evening. Psalms 90 says, before the mountains you were born, or you brought forth the whole world, from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. It's amazing when we think of a being that could create something so wonderful, something that kind of exists on its own, something that perpetuates itself, that's sustainable, something that lives in cycles and keeps on cycling, sure as the sun rises in the morning and it sets in the evening. I hope wherever you are, you can sit back and look at something beautiful that God created. And I hope the creation speaks to you and tells you just how special you are, because you know, all this was made just for you. Have a good evening. God bless you.